Hey everybody, I'm going to try some live streaming. Haven't done this, haven't played Twilight Struggle in a long time. I've never live streamed, so we'll see how this actually goes. I'm going to just play some Turn Zero, which is the expansion for Twilight Struggle, and I'm just going to play against the AI of the game, I think, because I don't want to push myself too hard. So we'll start with Turn Zero. I'll explain what the difference is about Turn Zero if you're unfamiliar. I have a series on YouTube before this, which was not Turn Zero, where I played against opponents online and AI, but this is Twilight Struggle, the board game, the digital adaptation, and Turn Zero is an expansion that came out. I'm going to do random sides, Turn Zero, no influence handicap. I don't want the optional space race, I think that's fine. We'll do promo cards, good. Alright, start the game, see what happens. So, this is the Turn Zero thing. They added this modifier system to the startup of the game. So each side, I am the Russians playing against the Americans. You get to choose one of these cards down here. They have like a -1, or the Russians are always negative. I think the Americans are positive. -1, -2, cancel the effect of the other card, and then a dummy card, which is worth 0. So you both pick a card, it gets revealed, there's a dice roll, your cards sort of add to the dice roll, so if it's a -1 and a +1, they would cancel out, nothing would happen, it would just be the value of the dice. And then you get these modifiers based on what you roll. If you roll a 1, a 2 to 3, 4 to 5, or 6. So the Soviets want to get low numbers, and it helps them. And what the modifiers do is that they do different things to the setup of the game. So you can add a little bit of variety to your startup. It's not always the stock standard sort of board game opening thing that we're all used to at Twilight Struggle. So for this one, if we roll low, the Soviets advance past LB, apply the 2-3 result in the USSR, receives 1 influence in West Germany, 1 in Austria during setup. So that's pretty good for us. And the 2 to 3 is we overrun Eastern Europe before Christmas. We would get 2 additional Eastern European influence. So this is pretty good. We should try to get this. I don't know if this is the best one that the Soviets want. I'm just going to go with a -1. We got a 5, no effect. So it didn't amount to anything. Goes on to the next card. There's 6 of these, I think. Labour wins in a huge landslide. The U.S. shies away from left-wing elements. The U.S. influence in the U.K. is reduced by 2. This one is not as good. Socialist government event has no effect on turns 1 or 2. This is better for the Americans. I don't want to really waste a card, so I'm just going to do the cancel the U.S. card. No effect. Nothing happens. FDR tends Potsdam and poor health. Misreads Stalin's intention. I receive 1 additional influence anywhere in Europe during setup. This one's very good. You want the 1. I think I want to go low here. I'll just do this. Well, I'll do this -2. See what happens. To have no effect. Maybe we won't get anything. It'll change in this. Apply the 2-3 results. 1 influence. This one's pretty good. We'll go with this. So I got 1 influence in Syria during setup. So that brings Syria up to 2, I think. Apply the 2-3 Soviets. We get 1 in South Korea. Move the Japan Mutual Defense Pact card to the mid-war deck and add 1 into each Japan. So this is pretty good. Unfortunately, I only have the dummy card left, so I'll put that in there. On turn 1, U.S. ignores DEFCON, and DEFCON cannot go below 2, and we remove the Korean War card. So that's probably the best result that the Americans got. And we'll do this one. This one, I want low. 1 is great, and we're not going to get that. No, we got 6. So what happened? Apply the 4-5. China card is face down for me. Taiwan is permanently a battleground and add 3 influence in Taiwan during setup, so they get a battleground in Asia. Not too good. Looks like they came out the winner on that one. We'll do the traditional start. Haven't played this game in a long time, so I might be a little bit rusty. Had a warm-up game, but nothing spectacular. Headline phase. So, let's see here. We got the Nationalist China card. People can look at that. U.S. places 3 influence in Asia, no more than 1 per country. Pretty good card. I'm going to play... I can't play Vietnam Revolts in my Kumi out. First Lightning is useless. It's really just captured Nazi scientist, I guess, to open the game up here. Marshall Plan, which is pretty good for them. That's always my strategy. I had that video about the 5 tips I would choose or whatever, but playing the Marshall Plan as the U.S. is usually a good way to go. In this game, you get control of the two influence battlegrounds easily. I don't know if this computer is going to do it. No, it didn't really do that. Auto success. All right, so let's see what we want to do. I have to coup, I think. I'm a little bit rusty because I think about what I actually have to do. I don't want to... Do I want to do it with a 4? I guess so. I kind of need to get into here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to attempt to coup. Attempt to coup here. It worked. Barely worked. We got a 2 out of it. Brings that down to 4. The opponent event triggers. They have control of 2 battlegrounds now because of Taiwan. There's the Taiwan start, where they have control of a battleground as Taiwan, which is an interesting little wrinkle to play into Asia, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 battlegrounds instead of the usual 6. So you can't really have a stalemate in Asia. They're going to coup me back. No, maybe they're thinking about it. So I haven't played a lot of this. The AI I remember as being usually pretty beatable. The AI can start out strongly, but doesn't really hold much of a challenge. I think after this I'll just play some games against... Okay, so he took us away, which is maybe the best case scenario because he can't go in there now at this point. We can just move in from Iraq. I am going to... Can't really do anything in either of those. I don't have any scoring cards. In all likelihood, he has a scoring card. Russ Graham, how are you? Sorry, I'm looking at the chat now and realizing that I actually have to pay attention to what's going on. Let's see. I don't want a socialist government. I guess I could play Vietnam Revolts. I'm going to play the event and move into Vietnam and be able to get my way in there. Because DEFCON is at 3, right? So that means the Middle East can be cooed, but I can't be cooed. Russ, how are you? Taking a break from Star Trek to watch some Twilight Struggle. If people don't know that we have a Star Trek podcast, which is the main thing. Is this something I'm going to do in the reg from now, or is it just something I'm trying out? Just trying it out. I figure me and Clay might actually try to do some live streams at some point. But it wouldn't be Twilight Struggle. It'd probably be talking about pop culture and stuff like that. Let's see. You went into Egypt. I have to coup them now, I suppose. I have to try to coup Egypt. Does that make sense? I want to get into Libya. Probably going to play pretty sloppy here. I'll just try it anyway. I have a better than 50% chance. Alright, so that worked out perfectly well. Down to 2. But yeah, me and Clay might try to do some discussions. At some point, we are going to see First Contact and Wrath of Khan at the Science Museum in Boston. So we might have a live stream after that about talking about that. Because that'll be interesting to see those two on the big screen in one night. Yeah, work, as it always is. I want to... I want to add USSR influence. I'm going to put this here, put 2 in Poland because it's super important. I'll put 1 here, 1 here for no reason. We'll probably use those for de-Stalinization at some point. But yeah, testing out streaming, seeing how it works. It's so easy. Who would have thought this would actually be so easy, but it is. And that's all there is to say about it. You think streaming would be difficult, but it's really, it's remarkably easy. I guess YouTube really wants this to be pushed this way. So he's going to put his influence into Israel, take control of it. We're in okay shape. I can now... What does this card do? He can put no more than 1 per country. So that is a real bad card for us. I'd like to either hold it or get rid of it. Let's see. Socialist governments. I don't want to... You need the scoring card to take advantage of socialist governments. I'm just going to place some influence. I'm going to go... I think I have to take this to stop the scoring card from happening. Then I'll go into Iran. And I think that makes sense. So now I can spread into Pakistan on my next turn. Yeah, hopefully it's fun. I'm sorry, I'm responding to Russ. Hopefully the live stream stuff could be fun to talk about. It's an easy way to make the videos go up. Hopefully the internet holds out. Me and Clay could actually talk about sort of one-off type events and not have to get too studious about it by watching an episode or something. Romanian abdication. He puts his influence into South Korea. the South Korea, the Korean war card is gone, so that's pretty much meaningless. I need to hold on to, I need to take these two, basically. So I can't play First Lightning. So I'm going to have to play this, I think. Randomly discard. And the card may be, I think I actually screwed myself here, right? We have 2 turns left. 1. No, I'd have to play this, so I have to space race this, I think. Right, it's too good. I have to space race it. Failed. And I think on my next turn I'm going to play 5-year plan. It'll get discarded. This will get discarded, hopefully. What does this do? Must be discarded without triggering the event. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Get out of here. There we go. Blockade. Oh, and he lost all of his influence. That's interesting. Let's see. So I can now, hopefully this doesn't cause me to lose. I'm going to trigger the event. It should discard that and not cause me to lose the game. There we go. So then I'm going to, maybe that's the only situation where 5-year plan is actually good for people. I'm going to place influence. I'm going to 2 there. I don't have any I guess I need a non-battleground here. So I'll go, this is tied. I have the advantage here. I guess I'll just go there to get that easy non-battleground. Just for the scoring card purposes next round. So we're in good control of Asia. He's sort of stuck in the Korean-Japan area. That is a wash. Neither of us get anything out of that, which is fine. The thing about this game is it's all about the small advantages at each point. It's not about really racking up points. It's just kind of getting like a small advantage in each region and then scoring the points when you can get them. For the headline, we are going to play... So Asia's still out there. He might have the Asia scoring card. I don't know if it's worth playing. Cambridge 5, maybe it is. Suez, not really worth it at this point. Arab Israeli. Arab Israeli might be good, although he played the scoring card. I think I'm going to, or the computer did. I'm not playing a real person. For people who are just tuning in, it's I'm going to play Cambridge and hope that he has the Asia card. I probably won't play humans today. I'll maybe play the humans the next time that I do that. I'm just trying to figure out how this actually works. Okay, so he did have the Asia scoring card. I'm going to put influence somewhere. I mean, I guess I just put influence into... Do I break a battleground? I guess I do. I'm going to break South Korea, I think. There we go. Yeah, it's clearly Cardinal. How are you? Good to see you. It's clearly for your benefit. I tend to think out loud when I'm playing these games, and then I hook myself up to the internet so that I can make the video very easily. What do I want to do here? I need to coup, and then I'll coup. He's got control of the UK. Do I just want to get rid of that? I think. Is there anywhere I can coup? Panama. I've got CIA created. I guess I'll just do this to get rid of it. He won't be able to coup me. We'll get rid of that card. It is for me to justify my vocal musings. I always try to come up with topics, and then I never really can. Streaming is kind of an art, obviously. I'm not telling people anything that they don't really know. What do I want to do here? Now I want to attempt a coup. And I want to coup Panama, I guess. Hopefully we get lucky. We got lucky. Works for me. I'm good, Cardinal. Thinking about this Twilight stuff. Star Trek is coming along fairly well. We have Way of the Warrior coming up, although I have to record the season 3 wrap up, which I haven't yet done. I wrote down my thoughts today, so we're not far away from me getting my thoughts out about season 3 as a whole. That was a good card for him. He's got that scoring card. We know he does. I might just play this just to get rid of it. He hasn't played NATO yet, so I'd rather... He'll put it in France, I'd assume, so that's fine. So he'll put that in France. We'll get rid of the card. Yeah, sharing my attention effectively between the game and the chat is much harder than it looks. Normally this is... he puts it in Belgium, or Benelux as the card likes to say. I'm going to place influence, take back that. Why did I lose something? Just because he took South Korea back, right? Yeah. So I need to start taking India. Hopefully he plays this... Well, not hopefully he plays the scoring card, but... Or are you, you're not a country on the board? Cardinal? Australia. Australia is always spoken for in this game. There's no reason for anyone to do anything. The U.S. is very, very, very happy to be there. All right, so I need to play this. I know he's got the China card. I need to do this and take that. There we go. Now we're in good shape in Asia. The scoring, I need to play the Europe scoring card while we are not at a disadvantage here. I guess I should take West Germany. Doesn't really matter, does it? I guess that would be the thing to do. Yeah, Denmark. Is Denmark even on here? It is. That goes to show how unimportant Denmark is in terms of things. All right, so he came back and he took that because he took the countries, which makes sense. I'm going to play the... What do I do here? I think that I play the China card because I need to take some country advantages to score Asia. I think Asia is more important than Europe in the long term of this game. And then I'll put one into Pakistan to prevent any sort of China card shenanigans later on in the game. What time is it in Australia now anyway? Is it morning over there? Must be. We have someone scheduled to come on the podcast that's in India, and it's like a, it's like trying to part the Red Sea to get the times to line up when you're doing something on the other side of the globe. There's that. We got Cuba. He's gonna continue to try to break that for no particular reason. Let's see. I'm gonna place influence. I just need to keep on the Asia scoring card. I just need to win it. I don't know if playing this way against the AI is the best way to go. You just, I mean, I don't know if a real person would play this way, the way that the computer is playing, but you just have to take the advantage where you can. Desalinization, is he going to play it actually? Well, all right, so I'll take Finland, this. Where else can I go? This and Vietnam. And with these you always go into South America because it is the easiest way to get in there, and once you get domination there you're pretty much set. It's just after 4 a.m. don't ask. Oh, it's just after midday in Australia. Never mind. It's 4 a.m. in Denmark. Makes sense to me. See what he does with this. He's going to play influence. He's going to break North Korea again. Yep. And then spread into the other countries. This is the last turn. I've got to play this. He effectively did it. There he goes. He survived. I'm not a real person? No, I'm not a real person. 6-6. And we gained a victory point there. Oh, did he have containment? I wasn't even aware that he had containment. Maybe that explains why he was doing so many things. DEFCON goes up. We get a bunch of stuff. We get the reshuffle on turn 3. NATO. NORAD is good to avoid. Kremlin Flu is one of the better cards for these guys. I guess I played De Gaulle just because I need to get into Algeria. I think that makes sense. The Middle East scoring card might have come around. But he's got that locked up with those two. So I'm going to play De Gaulle, move into France. It's a great DEFCON. He gets some points out of it. We go back to all square on our points. I move into France like that. So now I have to play NORAD, I think. I'll trigger that. Hopefully we get Quagmire out eventually. I'll take France because it's important. And do that. I am a self-aware AI. I should watch Deus Ex Machina again. And I was thinking about that earlier. I haven't seen that in a long time. Alex Garland. We were talking on the Discord about how Alex Garland should play, or CBS or whatever should just drive a boatload of money over to Alex Garland's house and say, write the next Star Trek. All right, we'll go there. I'm going to use this. I'm going to take back North Korea. Take back Iran. Take Libya, just in case he gets that kick the Soviets out of Egypt card. Not Nasser. And Nasser's evil twin. We're dominating Southeast Asia, which is good. Africa will coup back eventually. I need to get over here before Voice of America comes out. He keeps breaking control of that. NATO will trigger this, which is annoying. So I need to play Truman, I think. So let's do this because it can't hurt us, right? No, it can't hurt us. No, next movie. Well, we did Deus Ex Machina for, not Deus Ex, is it? Ex Machina. We did Ex Machina for the Patreon thing. No, it would not be unoriginal if Alex Garland got it. It would actually be quality. It would be a solid thing to watch. Tarantino and Garland. That would be my dream combination for what Star Trek would do. So what did he do? He took it out of there. I'm going to place influence into... Should I just start spreading over here? Asia. I don't know why he keeps breaking Asia like that. I'm just going to keep putting influence back into it to hold on to it. Garland would be great. But yeah, we did the Patreon podcast about Ex Machina. Came out pretty well, I think. Pretty heady movie. It's hard to wrap your head around. Hard to discuss. Not like Man on Fire, which is simple to discuss because it's terrible. As long as you're not Clay. I know, watch out for the Russians. They're coming for me. Cardinal, do you know actually how to play this game? I'm not sure if you were actually one of the board game people. All right, so my turn here. I am going to trigger this. It happens because of Marshall Plan and Warsaw were both played, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to play some influence. I'm going to lock up these guys. There. And Mexico is impossible to get to unless the U.S. goes into it, so we'll probably move into Costa Rica when we have the chance. Arab-Israeli war is pretty much nonsense at this point because they have Lebanon and Jordan, and I can't coup either one. And the Russes, the Ruskies and the Russes. See, I don't know what the hell he's trying to do over there. I guess he just is desperate to flip that country. That's a pretty bad card for us. Let's play some influence. Take control of the Middle East. Not a gamer at all. I'm content just to watch for a while. Sounds good to me. Maybe you'll pick up how to play this game, and then you'll become a Twilight Struggle fanatic. I have not played the physical game of this in a very, very long time, mostly because it takes 4 hours to do. That's the one aspect of digital games I really enjoy. It's the fact that they speed the whole process up. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to... Oh, it's not the mid-war yet, but we are preparing. I'm going to play this with Kremlin. I'm going to place influence here. And then I'm going to go here. I can't really lose Korea, which is annoying. Decolonization, he's going to space race it. That would have been nice to have, actually. He failed, which is a little bit of pleasure I get out of that. Getting the hang of this, I think. I've seen a few videos. It takes it's not complicated, but it looks more complicated than it actually is. It's actually a pretty streamlined game. Africa scoring is terrible for us to get. Middle East is good for us to get. Allende, lone gunman. He's not going to play that. I would have liked the US to have gotten that one. I'm going to have to get rid of that. I guess I'll just play the Middle East scoring. I don't really care if not triggering any of the other stuff. I'll do that. So I get 4 points out of it. He can't go into the Middle East, so that doesn't really bother me. This annoys me that he can go to Southeast Asia. Just can't get enough. Oh. I know the thing about streaming, I have to be careful. I have to watch my language. Can't edit it out in post. Can't edit out Clay's offensive ranting. Alright, so we got the points out of it. He broke a lot of control. I guess I have to play First Lightning. Place influence, that'll drop that. We don't get the coup, but I can do this. And I can do this. Does that make a difference? I guess I just want that to have control, and then I can move into Afghanistan. It doesn't really matter. He's in there now, so we can move into these other countries. Yeah, I recognize the it's interesting. Russ is just saying that it's the repetition of seeing it and recognizing some of the patterns. It's a game that does have a pattern to it, but it's interesting that it's well designed enough where it's different every single time for how sort of similar it is at the same time all through everything. Through the cards the cards are organized and sort of storylines into the mid deck and early deck. Claim it available and face up to play. What do I want to do? Yeah, Clay's Racist Tirades is the name of his new video series. Let's see. I need to take Chile. I need to get into Africa, at least. What is this? He gets to place 4 in Asia if he takes it. A lot of good American cards. I guess this one I can place influence with. 1, 2, get a presence in Africa, at least so when I have to play that card, it won't come back to haunt me. Take that back so he doesn't have that. Taiwan's already a battleground. Oh, and they get a bonus point for some reason. Is that true? Is that what that should happen? Oh. So, Russ and Graham, have you guys been, are you watching Star Trek as we go through it at this point? It's hard to know. It's hard to know who is just sort of going off of memory and who is actually actively watching it as we go along. Lost Thailand. I think I'm gonna... What do I want to do? I can't coup. Let's place influence and I'll take this back. I don't know. Why so quiet in Canada? No, there's nothing going on in Canada. They got no red. I'm going to... Pretty rough stretch here. I think that I want to... Let me take that back. I'm going to play... If I play Allende, I take control of Chile. I think I just want to do that, just to make that card actually useful. Yeah, that guy Alex, you've seen the episode so many times, there's no need. I was that way with TNG. I was not that way with DS9. DS9 is actually funny. When I do the season recaps, I have to go through the Wikipedia page and remind myself what the episodes are, which was not something I needed to do in TNG. I had a much better grasp of where I thought everything was. He's got Asia scoring. So that means I should break control. Now break control of, I guess, North Korea, just to make this ridiculous and absurd that we have that much influence in those places. Keeping up, Russ says he's keeping up as I can, but I'm very busy. Yes, you are. That guy Alex says he's seen the episode many times. The rest I go off of memory is my favorite show, and I've seen it a ton. Yeah, it's interesting. What would you say? What would you guys say is your favorite episode of season 3 so far? Just as I'm sort of getting my show thoughts ready for that, discussing the wrap up. I'd be interested in what you guys thought the best and the worst were. For my action round, I am going to. What do I lose here? 6 points is really not that bad. I'm just going to do that to get rid of it. Maybe waste his time. Oh, he's not at DS9 yet. That guy, Alex. You're on TNG, I'm assuming, at this point then. Because no one really cares about TOS, is something that I've learned. And I wish that the Discovery producers had actually known that as well. Who lost China? I lost China. He goes into West Germany. Puppet Governments is still very good, although it's not as good. I guess I could play Puppet Governments. Add 1 influence in 3 countries that currently contain no power, which isn't that bad at this point. So let me place my influence. Let me take Turkey while I can, just so I get domination of Europe. So Alex is watching TNG. I really liked the finale you put up earlier. Memorable moments. Boo, TOS is awesome. TOS is good, but my thing about TOS is that I'm always like, oh, I'm in the mood to watch some TOS. I either go to Netflix or I take out the Blu-ray. I make it through like 10 minutes of a really good episode, and I'm like, that's enough. I don't need to watch this anymore. Maybe it's just I'm not the right person because we're so knee-deep in Star Trek in general that I don't really want to. I don't use my free time to watch Star Trek just because so much of my free time is used for Star Trek at that point. I'd have to memory alpha and look up season 3. Well, your options would be like Dies Cast, Improbable Cause, The Search, Visionary. Those are the strong ones that I can think of anyway. I was having trouble coming up with the best I think are easy. The worst in season 3 are more difficult to come up with. I am going to, so what is this? If you have it, claim it available and up to play. Willy Brandt. So I'm okay over here. I'm okay in here. Actually, I might play this. Just to take this. To get domination there. And then I will go into here, I think. Because I kind of need that. Rewatched it with the special effects, but I do not rewatch it very often to us. It's true. And I watched them all, well, the special effects were a part of it. Just when I got the Blu-rays and stuff like that. Usuri River. This is our last action round. So what I want to do is I want to hold that one, Lone Gunman, because I want to play it for the first one there. Willy Brandt is kind of useless. I want to get rid of this. It's too good, though. I'm going to have to space race it. Not playing optimally here, obviously. I can now play 2 space race cards per turn. Isn't that excellent? Do the first 10 minutes of Balance of Terror not pull me in? When Cardinal says, watching TOS with you has taught me to appreciate him. TOS is... I don't know how I would describe TOS. TOS is just... I mean, it's just dated. You can say it's dated and still like the show. It's really hard to sit and focus on an episode of it. Although Balance of Terror does pull me in. Soviets are more fun to play. There's an actual gameplay comment. DEFCON's at 3. I think the Soviets are... I think I prefer the Americans playing as the Americans now. The Americans feel a little bit more of a... The Soviets feel like there's a way to play, and the Americans feel a little bit more loosey-goosey, and I've just totally lost track of what's going on here. I'm going to headline Lone Gunman, I think. He's going to play European scoring. So, He's got a bunch of good cards. Nothing really hurts him. Central America's scoring and South America's scoring, so he has to play those. Cultural Revolution, Junta. Alright, that's fine with me. Is there a glitch where I don't see what that is? And so then that goes there. So let's do a coup. And let's coup here. Which failed. Which is too bad. European scoring, we got a bunch of points out of it. He wanted to get rid of it. And so now I have to get some points. Trigger that. Place influence. Boom. And then I need to, what was he? He had Central America too. So I'll take those back. Make it expensive for him to come back here. I do think the, are the Soviets more fun? Why would I consider the Soviets to be more fun? The Soviets are fun if you kind of like to depend on the card draw in some way. I'm really thinking off the top of my head here. The Americans feel like there's a little bit more of a loosey-goosey, you can have different outcomes and be okay, where the Soviets feel like you have to lock down certain events. He's going to junta me. He realigns me in the US. It works perfectly, of course. Well, we need South America is the problem here. So no matter what he does, I don't know where he's going to realign. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. I don't think I need the victory points yet. I'll play this. I'll place influence. I need to take Argentina back, and I need to take Panama back. And after that, what do I want to do? Africa's lost cause to me. Everything else is doing okay. Asia is still out there, but the card isn't available. Europe is the same. Europe's gone. Middle East is gone. There's no reason to be screwing around over there. He's going to go into Cuba, and that gives him domination there. Is it domination? Yes, domination. Forgetting my terminology. Exchange this card for your opponent's highest valued operation card in his hand if two or more are tied. If exchange contains your event, I guess I'll do this. Is it a DEFCON warning? Could be a short stream. What could he have? That's the downside of not playing this game very regularly. I forget what card he might have at this point that could actually cause me to lose. I don't remember anything. I guess I could have looked at the window down here to see what card he had. Boom. Look at that, a victory point. And he lost a card. Spectacular. Alright, so we're waiting for him. The AI always takes the same amount of time. I mean, I think for a strategy here, South America, I'm happy holding on to. He's got to play the scoring card at some point. He's got to play Missile Envy for this turn. He's just taking more useless countries there. I mean, I could coup him over there. I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that. I don't want to play any of this. It's horrible. I'm going to play this. And what do I want to do? Do I coup? I'm concerned about Central America, but there's not really much I can do about it. I want this to be the same. Do I like overprotect there? I don't think so. Do I go into Africa? I guess I should take Thailand. So let's place influence. Boom. And then Europe is okay. I mean, just start putting one into these random countries to protect them. If you ever do another series like Babylon 5 or Stargate, it would be great if you could number episodes in iTunes. Oh, it's a good idea, actually. Thank you. I appreciate that suggestion. Sudan is pointless. There's no reason to go into any of these countries. This is the point of the game where you start to run out of things that you can actually do. I'm going to put it in Venezuela just to protect Venezuela, I guess. They could have easily put it in Argentina because it's the same situation, but to listen to one show coherently. I didn't even realize you could sort iTunes that way, but I guess you can, is to put the title and the numbers. That would make sense. You can also just go to the website if you wanted to, which I should start bringing up because iTunes is at its limit for a number of episodes that it can actually list, although I don't know if the program does anything differently. So he took me out, or Brushwood. Hey, Brushwood. That's fine. It's actually not fine. It's very far from fine, but we'll see how it goes. I've got to get rid of this. I've got to space race it, I suppose. Fails. South America is all I'm holding on to at this point, and if I can hold on to Asia and get the Southeast Asia scoring card, that would be great. There's a lot of things I would have redone with the podcast if I had the choice. The big one, I think, is now that we're at the point it was, I would have watched all the episodes in air order instead of doing it series by series. I think that would be a really interesting way to watch the episodes. I'm certainly not going to do that now. A complete download would be great of all episodes in a show. What's my opinion on the expansion cards? I like the expansion cards, except I don't know... Sorry, it is my turn. I should be paying attention here. So Central America is there. I'll talk about the expansion cards in a second. That's there. Europe's okay. This is the advantage of the digital board where you can actually see where you need to focus on. I'm going to give up on Central America. We've got South America. That's fine for me. I don't like that. I want to hold on to that until next turn, I think. I've got to space race this, I think. Success. 2 victory points. My opinion on the expansion cards, I love some of them. The Kremlin Flu is a great card that is really good for the Americans early on. It's sort of an equalizing early war card. I think that was really effective that they came out with. What are some of the other ones? You're going to have to type them in for me because I can't really remember. This is our last action round. So... I guess I have to play... OAS is such an annoying card. He can... Well, he's already scored South America. Do I play this? And then what? I hold on to this and then... It'll give him 2 victory points. I would prefer to do that. So I'm going to trigger this. Let him decide what he wants to do. But yeah, Kremlin Flu is really good. What the hell are the other ones? The Nationalist China is a really good American card in Asia. I don't like the Russian Lightning or whatever that card is. I don't really understand the point of that card. Let me attempt a coup here. Let me just try to work my way into Africa. There we go. That's how you do it. And Central American scoring. He'll actually get all the points out of that. Yeah, that's good. Wasn't really paying attention. All I can remember is that they're incredibly unbalanced. Are they unbalanced? I don't know. I feel that they bring a... I feel that they even out some of the war deck sections. Like Kremlin is a good American early war card that they never really had a card like that where they could stall the Soviets for a turn in the early war. Let me see what I want to do here. South African unrest is pretty good. What is the difference here? 2 in Southeast African states and Angola. That one might actually be better on this one. 2 and then 1 in any country adjacent. Indo-Pakistani, I don't want to play that. I don't want to play Cuban. I don't want to play Suez. I think I want to play Portuguese here. Olympic Games, which is weird. The AI always wants to do that. Sorry, Wes, I had to answer the door. No worries. You didn't miss much. I'm going to participate, or should I boycott, right? If you boycott, degrade 1 level. Who would ever boycott? It's such a weird thing, that card. USA wins, they get 2 points, which is fine. I break control of those countries. Africa gets brought back to normal. So now let's think about what we're doing here. I have to coup. I'd like to coup Nigeria, because Zaire is the other expansion. The Zaire stability goes up to 3, and the U.S. gets like 2 influence. I think that's a really good card too. It's interesting that you think it's unbalanced, Saidan. I don't know if I agree, but I might just be ignorant and speaking out of my behind. I'm going to coup. I'm going to coup with this. I'm going to coup Nigeria. Terrible roll. I feel like America having a balancing card for the early war kind of makes... That is true. He says, I feel the Americans having a balancing card for the early war kind of makes the American late game even worse for the Soviets. That is true. What cards did they add to make the Soviets better in the late war? I don't know what the late war Soviet cards are off the top of my head. Wait for him to go. Close game. Games are much closer when I'm actually unable to pay attention to the game because I'm looking at what Chad is doing. He failed. I don't know why he tried to coup Costa Rica. That didn't make any goddamn sense. Africa is good for us now. South America is fine. We'll get into Central America with a card at some point. I feel like I want to take European countries. What is this? That's 3 victory points to get rid of the card. I think I'll do that. And then I'll place influence. So what do I have here? 1, 2, 3. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing I want to do with that, I don't think. I want to take... Is that worthwhile? What did I just do? So I want to trigger this. And then I want to... I just want to place influence, I think. Right? I don't want to get crazy here. I want to... Europe is okay, I guess. One more country... Once he evens it out, I want to put something in there. I don't want to do anything here. Here is fine. I mean, I could start potentially realigning. We'll do that. I'm going to put one here just for China card protection. And then I'll put one into Sudan just to have a little bit of influence in Africa. I'm trying to think of what the late war Soviet cards are. It's not that Petroslav or whatever that guy's name is. I think he's existed before. I'll have to wait. I'll have to see. Hopefully this game will make it to the end war, or the late war. Alright, so they took back Europe, so I actually have to do something now. Soviets get no late game cards, 1 mid-war, and the rest are early. Interesting. So I don't know why they wouldn't have added a late war card. That would make sense to me. That would probably fix your the balancing issue. Because the Americans do have an edge in the late war, as far as I'm remembering, if I'm remembering properly. I want to put... I'll do this. I'll play some influence. How much would I get here if I did this? Not enough. So I should do this to take some of these. 1, 2, take that back. And then I will head into here to get some presents. And then here, just to take that bit of the map away from them. So after this, I see no reason to play Suez. Nuclear subs we want to burn at the last turn. Indo-Pakistani doesn't do anything for me. He can get 2 victory points for that card. That's fine. Remove this. And Jordan, I suppose. We'll get a firmer grasp by going into Saudi Arabia because he can't get in there. I'll use Suez to do that, or arms race, it doesn't really matter. Asia is difficult to get control of at this point, so I'm fine splitting the difference with him. Or he'll do that. It's still missing. That's still out. I feel like I have to take Saudi Arabia. Then I'll deal with Asia afterwards. Europe is okay. Central America is fine. South America is good. Africa is good. It could be that the cards were added to get rid of the influence bidding at the start of the game, but it's definitely even with the promo card. I've never played with influence bidding. I don't know how it works. I don't know why you do it, unless it's just a handicap system to make uneven players. What is this? Central America, no more than 2 per country. There, and Nicaragua for no particular reason. Yeah, I've never played with influence bidding. I don't know why. I don't know how it's done. I don't know why you would do it. I guess it is sort of a handicapping system, but I don't know. I've never played anyone or been in a situation where it's done. I guess I could do it on the digital system. All right, he just tries to do that. He keeps trying to military coup Costa Rica for no reason. Indo-Pakistani. I think I want to trigger this now. He get his 2 points. I can play some influence. I'll take that. We'll need to flip something at some point over there. Central America is a little bit messier for him, at least. Although, are there any scoring cards out? Southeast Asia is the only one, right? Yeah, Southeast Asia is the only card that possibly exists. So I guess I should flip Laos just to get that. And that's really annoying that he keeps trying to do that. Arms race, South African. We have another turn after this, so nuclear subs will go last at that point. So I'll place influence. I'll take Vietnam back. I feel like breaking this one is worthwhile. Not sure. Oh, that was quick decision from him for kitchen debates. He puts it right back in there. Yeah, so that's not worthwhile. So I'm going to play this. And I'm going to attempt a coup here and get him out of Zaire. There we go. That works. Southeast Asia scoring card, so I get the advantage there. I get 2 points. 2 whopping points. Saidan says, if only came about because American players insisted the early war was too hard, ergo the Iran coup, no Middle East influence. Yes. I mean,
for the first time.
What do you mean by what came about? With handicap, they throw a point into Iran to control. Right, okay. That makes sense. I mean, I kind of agree, although I think if the Americans have Iran, Asia's easier for them. Right? I'm kind of talking out of my ass here. I mean, the Americans desperately want to control Iran at the start of the game. What am I going to quagmire? I don't really want to play that. I don't have European scoring. I have Voice of America. These... I guess I want to play socialist governments because none of this is really particularly useful to me. Remove no more. Would that be helpful? It's not really even helpful. I guess I'll play Quagmire. What does that do? Anything? I don't think this is a particularly useful card for him. No, didn't really do anything. Quagmire is in effect. I can... This would be interesting if I could there. What could possibly come out of it? South America. I guess I should coup Mexico or something. Let me do that. Attempt coup here. Oh, Jesus Christ, terrible rolls, but that's down to 2. We now have a chance of getting a little bit of South American control. He has to play Quagmire. And he gets out. He played Salt Negotiations. Quagmire's gone. It's fine. I'm going to play this. Play some influence here. And 2 more. Don't care about that much anymore. I need to take control of an Asian country. It's a life goal. What do I want to do here? Is Central America worth the points, or do I go and do something else up here? I guess I'll put it in Cuba. See if I can actually take Cuba. It would have been nice if Quagmire stuck around. Worst Season 3 DS9 episodes: Meridian, easily. Fascination, Heart of Stone, Life Support, Distant Voices, Family Business, and Facets. Interesting. I'd agree about Meridian, Life Support, Distant Voices. I think those are the 3 that I would agree about. What's he trying to do? I have no idea why he keeps trying to coup right there. So let's trigger this. He can have that country. Get rid of this annoying card. Let's try some realignments just to see what happens. No change. No change. Terrific. Wonderful. Yeah, I think that Meridian's definitely up there. I think Equilibrium would be up there as one of the worst ones. I kind of like Facets. Family Business is stupid, but maybe not as bad as I would think that it could be. Distant Voices was bad. Distant Voices might be a contender for the worst season. I think Bashir and Dax are contenders for the 2 worst characters of that season. What is this? That's that. Let me play the event here. 50% chance. Success. Get some points out of it. That's how you play the game. I just hate Kai Wynn. No secret there. I know. You don't hate her in terms of like you're supposed to in the show, though, right? You Cardinal. You hate Kai Wynn as a like written character, as a literary character of fiction. Realignment, really? You bastards. Let's play some influence. Take it back. Any tips for a Soviet player? If Americans headline Marshall. If the Americans headline Marshall Plan, you pretty much are in bad shape in Europe, right? I think that's the case. Let me just put this influence down and see what happens here. I'm going to put it in Nicaragua for no reason. I guess just in case there's a realignment rule in Cuba. What would happen if the Americans headline Marshall Plan? The Americans have to headline Marshall Plan if they have it. And Eastern Europe is high stability, which makes it very unappealing for the Soviets to want to waste a lot of influence there. I think you really have to just focus on taking France. You have to have France at that point as the Soviets, and I think there are other situations where you wouldn't need to take France immediately. But if they headline Marshall Plan, I think that de Gaulle becomes important, or just getting into West Germany and then being able to get into France at some point. Family Business makes me uncomfortable, Wes. I was fully expecting Rom to ask Ishka to breastfeed him. Her walking around naked and Rom and Quark being comfortable with that is the most disturbing thing that Star Trek has ever done, I think. I'm going to space race this. Opponent choose and show headline card first. Now we're talking. This is what the space race is all about. Yeah, the Family Business is very uncomfortable. I really don't like the Ferengi episodes. I think people on listening to the podcast have made the distinction that the Ferengi episodes are bad when they focus on Ferengi culture. Oh, nice. And they are good when they focus on Rom and Quark and those guys. I kind of want to hold on to my cards, right? So I guess I could just do this and then place influence. Try to take Cuba. See what he does for his final turn. Place Che. So I am going to coup Haiti. Success. And then I'm going to coup Mexico, right? That's the one that makes sense to do. Yes. There we go. Good. He'll put some into France and take France from me. That's fine. Gives me something to think about. Brezhnev is gone. I hate Kai Wen because she's hungry for power, disrespects everyone else, and calls them my child all the time. I just hate the character. Actually, it's just poorly written as a DS9 villain at this point. It's really just inconsistent, and she comes across as incompetent, which I don't think is what she should want. Improves the effect of Glasnost. Alright, he's going to show me his headline. We'll probably play Reformer. Right? I don't see any reason not to. Iran-Contra is the realignment card. Iran Hostage Crisis is always useless. Tear down this wall. He adds 3 influence in East Germany. He can then make a coup. I guess I play Reformer? Yeah, I'll play Reformer. He goes first. Hopefully this fails. It's a very good card, obviously, for the Americans. And this is where the late war really falls apart for the Russians. You'll probably realign France, I would think. That would be the smart thing to do. Yep. And I'm still in there, which is good. Please fail. He's going to do it again. It's going to succeed. He just can't. Ferengi episodes are good when the Ferengi try and better themselves. Odo and Quark are gold. I don't disagree. There goes that. He took control of that. Now he's going to try to do that for some reason. Place 4 influence. Boom. Boom. I've just got to even that out, I think. And then one more into... It'd be funny if I took Canada for no particular reason. One more into East Germany, just to protect that a little bit. Continue. Action round. So I should either coup or realign here. I guess I could just take control of that. So I need to coup. Ugh. Trigger this. Don't care about that. Attempt to coup in... Not many good spots left. You can hate me if you wish, but I quite like Nog as a character. At least he grows. Poor Rom always walks around like he shot himself. It's true. I like those two. I think the Ferengi dynamic are actually pretty good. I'm going to just do it in here just to see what happens. Nothing. Alright, so that's fine. See if I actually lose this game. Which is, it does seem likely at this point. So why does it seem the cards for Soviets seem so much less effective even though they're almost the same? CIA and Lone Gunman, Quagmire versus Bear Trap. What did he do? He cooed me in Sudan. It's probably turn order, right? Isn't that why you can Bear Trap? I'm just trying to think. I don't know why that. It must have to do with the turn order. And I'm going to place influence. Take this. I've got that. Try to take France back. Keep that guy distracted. Remove all U.S. influence in Lebanon, plus remove 2 additional from anywhere in the Middle East. Yeah, fairly effective card. I don't know why the cards do seem less effective, although Aldrich Ames is excellent, right? And he's a kind of a double of an American card, isn't he? Or am I just forgetting myself? Raking bombs Olivia. Just giving them points at this point, but I just need to hold on to France. It's a good question. I don't know why the Soviet cards seem less effective. They do seem less effective on some level. It must just be turn order. That's the only reason I can think of. Oh, is he going to play the event? He's going to beat me with war games. You scumbag. That's it. The AI player won. Alright, well that's it. I'm going to be done. I'm calling it a day there. It's 11 o'clock. It's time for bed. Guys, thank you for joining me as you watch this. Maybe I'll do this again, but that was an interesting little test about how streaming worked. Thank you for the, thank you Cardinal, that guy Alex, Sedan, everyone who's out there in the chat right now watching. Much appreciated. I'll be back. Try this again maybe in a day or two. We'll see how it goes. And then maybe we'll get some actual... Clay will come on and we can do some actual live streams where we don't play games but actually talk about things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.